Hey everybody, welcome back to the Overwatch Project. It's June 3rd, 10:37 p.m. where I am right now. I hope you're all having a good day or night wherever you are, whenever you happen to be watching this. Tonight is a night where I'm going to talk to you about the astral realms, or also known as the astral planes. You could also call it the spirit realm. And you could end up experiencing that through an out-of-body experience. You might end up in some situation where you have a near-death experience, or of course eventually when the lifespan is over you will exit the physical realm here of earth, the earth realm, and you will enter the spirit realm or the astral realm in some form or another. Usually it's pretty similar for everybody. There are some deviations, but generally it's a wild place where you have lower and higher realms, a gigantic mega multiverse of different environments. Things will be thought responsive, and your mindset will be key to you and for me to successfully end the reincarnation cycle and move on from this louche farm that we live on. So let me get started by of course reminding everybody that my website is OverwatchProject.com. I'll get back to that later on tonight. But what I've done is I've been spending a lot of time curating a special playlist for you. I've listened to every video here. I've been changing the order of it, been trying to tweak it. I've taken some videos out, added some videos in, but right now it's 37 videos, and I've tried to place them into I think a relevant order for you to listen to, and I hope that you take the time and effort if you're truly interested in trying to get a mental picture of what happens in the spirit realms and what powers you can have there and how you can take control of your individuality to move beyond the earth astral realms and go outside of here, get escape velocity, as Robert Monroe would say. Quick tip, this is a lot of material to take in, and some of you of course won't want to sit in front of a computer screen and watch all these. A lot of these are interviews, so they don't have to be watched, they can be listened to. And I was going to give you a tip on how to for free listen to it, especially if you have an Android device or an Android phone. The Brave mobile browser has the ability to play audio in the background, and I will include the links to some of these how-to simple videos. Basically, there's a setting if you're using, and it may work on iOS version also. I'm not positive. I don't have an iPhone, so I don't know for sure. But basically, this playlist that I'm going to link to in the description section below, you should be able to, if you use the Brave browser and turn on the enable background audio, you can turn off your screen and basically listen to it as a podcast while you're doing things during the day. Or perhaps you have a job where you can listen to things with an earbud, and that is always helpful if you're trying to do a lot of research and you don't have a lot of free time. So the astral plane, the astral realms. It's hard to put into plain language. There's a lot of description about it, but essentially when you transition out of the physical realm into the spirit realm or the astral realm, things can be quite different there, and in some cases they can be quite the same. There are cities there. There are people that live there in the earth astral area, and they are some of them live ordinary lives, apparently. There's a lot of information to go through in these podcasts. I'm not going to play anything for you. I would hope that you would take the time to listen to them all. But I'm going to start off this playlist. I'm going to go through what you're going to encounter when you listen to it. So I'm going to start off with these couple of videos here from William Bielman. And if you see here, the second video is actually from his channel. The first one is a interview he did at Lighting the Void Radio. And it has a great general overview of some of the things that you can expect when you enter the afterlife. And of course, in the second video here, where it's called Creating an Effective Explorer Mindset, that is the absolute key to you controlling your destiny after this lifespan is over. In this thing that we call mindset, it works the same way here in the physical realm. Your mindset is key to things like self-defense. There is a great book from a ex-Navy SEAL. His name is Tim Larkin. And basically the entire book is about mindset in self-defense situations. And it's called When Violence is the Answer. If you haven't read it yet, I recommend it. It is also key in the spirit realms. Mindset will be what gets you out of here. There is no such thing as bullshit karma except what you do to yourself. There is no controlling you from or preventing you from leaving here except you prevent yourself from leaving here. And these videos, if you listen to them all in order, you'll get a great picture of it. I also included several videos here, for example, the Air Force inducing out-of-body experiences from Big Think, which is generally not a very helpful channel for actual spiritual research, but in this case, this video was particularly good. And the basics of astral projection from Spirit Science. And getting to something I've mentioned many times before, the Felix Rex channel just put up a video 5 days ago about how humans are engineered. And this is part of the problem. Human beings are the avatars, the containers, the consciousness that we have incarnated into here. And they have, these containers affect our consciousness, reduce it to a really pathetic level, and corrupt it so that it can no longer think in a coherent or sane manner. We are plagued with cognitive dissonance and other cognitive filters that keep many of us asleep or just corrupt the way we think so we can believe utter nonsense. It's key to understand that you are, and something that Bielman brings up in these earlier videos, I am not human. I am consciousness currently incarnated into human form. In the afterlife, if you continue to believe you are what you currently are, that is baggage that you're bringing over with you, and it's key to understand that that is not what you are. You are not, you don't really have, your consciousness doesn't really have a gender, it doesn't have a shape or a form except for one that you give it. You can shapeshift in the astral realm. You can alter your appearance. You can alter your whole persona. And beings that you meet there can also do that. And so it's very important that you not be distracted or deceived by astral beings that you meet that portray themselves as something that you may react to in that environment where you can be manipulated by them. The next video, yeah. The next video is from a channel called Consciousness Awake. I became aware of this channel fairly recently. It's an interview with an astral projector, and the person that runs the channel also has OBE experience, and the interview is quite fascinating. You get a good deal of information that corroborates a lot of the OBE information, corroborates with each other because it's all very similar. Fascinating interview. I hope you listen to it. Another interview from a channel called Quite Frankly, where you have a former doctor that I think abandoned his whole career to pursue OBE research because he has spontaneous out-of-body experiences. Another great interview. And the thing is that, you know, in these next series of videos here, these are all about the declassified CIA documents that basically confirm the OBE experience and a lot of the things about us living in a holographic universe, and that consciousness is not produced by the brain, but consciousness is the brain is simply filtering consciousness that is occupying it. The fact that these are declassified documents that go back to the 1980s, I think 1983 is when these were written about, that and the fact that we have tons of verifiable near-death experience data and OBE data, probably from the 70s on, and then you have, of course, all the historical references about it that go back to Plato and so forth. It truly is ridiculous with the amount of information, especially since the internet came about, that there's actually such a thing as a person that has a philosophy based in materialism and material atheism. It is a testament to just how crippled human thinking can be in a world where we have so much data. And that's why I included these CIA documents. The government knows about the afterlife. They know about consciousness. But yet, there is a ton of money generated through spreading material atheism. Is just another false religion like all the other religions that give you basically BS information and help you stay in a cycle. Well, not you. Obviously, if you're listening to my channel, you probably don't believe in any of that nonsense. I'm saying there's a lot of people out there in the world that believe in all this, these nonsense cosmologies, and when they enter the afterlife, they virtually will have no chance of getting out of the earth astrals, and they will either remain there for a long time or reincarnate back here anytime, fairly soon. So, very interesting to listen to these document videos that basically catalog what the CIA knew in 1983 about consciousness. And then you have all the garbage philosophies, and I found these two videos from Mark's channel from Forever Consciousness Research. Part 1 and Part 2, Stockholm Syndrome on steroids, and it really is when you listen to some of the garbage that comes out of these people's mouths that promote it's all love and light. There's no such thing as evil. It's just narcissism and Stockholm Syndrome on steroids. And I recommend these two videos because you'll get a true perspective of what some of the nonsense that human beings can process in their brains and still think to themselves that it makes sense. This is another interview with that Albert Taylor guy from the OBE that I mentioned earlier. This is an old Art Bell show. Pretty interesting. Then I included this video here from Consciousness Awake again, and it talks about this whole source message that we get. Oh, you want to go back to source. And of course, that never made any sense to me. A lot of this stuff, garbage philosophies that get pumped out there, like we're all one, and we're not all one. We are individual souls that can, of course, network together, or can, and especially in the astral, can telepathically exchange information and feelings and all this other stuff, and it can appear to to some people that, you know, that could be considered some kind of oneness, but is not oneness. It is simply a networking together with reality and other beings. And in this short 9-minute video, Consciousness Awake channel points out the ridiculous of this notion of we're going to return, like after you finally get out of here, you return to source, and basically compares it to kind of like saying that you want to return to the womb. That doesn't make any sense. If source gives birth to individual souls of consciousness, why would you go back to source? You want to grow up, right? You want to get out of here and you want to grow up. And then, of course, this video here is really a must-see. From Mark again, it goes over all the ways that we can be manipulated, programmed, especially from birth to 7 years old, and how this programming is weaponized to control you, to corrupt your thinking, and to basically fill your thinking with garbage. And it works the same way as a computer: garbage in, garbage out. So definitely watch that. That is a pretty lengthy one, 2 hours and 33 minutes. And you know what? You should break these up. You should, obviously you're not going to be able to listen to all this at once. It's taken me weeks to put this playlist together. And I want to kind of go over it with you so that you know what you're getting, you know, some of the key points you should be listening for. But I definitely think this whole thing would help. See, you want to kind of not only get this into your conscious mind, but if you're obviously listening to this channel and others like it because you want to end the reincarnation cycle, you want to definitely make sure that you understand that you're carrying around unknown programming in your subconscious mind, which could work against you. So you definitely want to purge all that out. You do that by reaffirming this stuff every day, by cleaning out your subconscious, by pounding it in this information in there to the point where there is no doubt. There is no longer any of the whatever you grew up with, the religion, the atheism, whatever it was that you were exposed to that could be still buried in your subconscious. That's why it's important to continue on with your lifespan as long as possible here, while continuously getting the correct mindset. Going back to that second video at the top of this playlist, mindset is key, and part of mindset is definitely making sure that your subconscious and your conscious mind are in sync with each other. Then there's this video from there's a new channel, Sovereign Spirits, with Wayne Bush, which I'm sure you all knew who that is, and Julie McVeigh. They do like a collaborative work together now. They have it's pretty new. The whole purpose is, again, embracing your soul individuality and using your proper mindset to escape the reincarnation soul trap here. And so you have a lot of good videos there, but I put a couple of them here that talks about the near-death experiences and in-between live experiences. But you should definitely check out the whole channel there to play back his videos when you get a chance. And then I did not know this, but I did find these two videos. Again, McVeigh has her other channel, Unordinary Made Ordinary, and she interviewed Cyrus Kirkpatrick about a month ago. You may remember him from Afterlife Topics. Apparently his channel was hacked or something, and now he has a new channel which is called The Great Cosmic Shift. I have some issues with some of his conclusions, and perhaps he shifted his position quite a bit, but again, he gets information from astral beings that tell him certain things, and I'm not sure he's these beings are completely being honest with him. However, I felt it necessary to include a couple of these videos, and especially this one here, because it's a panel discussion between him and two other people, and toward the end of it, at about an hour and 36 minutes in, there is a verifiable event where he is obviously receiving information from the astral plane, says something to one of the other panel members, and then they're able to verify and confirm that what he said was true, and then there's a piece of artwork that confirms it. So it's quite interesting, but that does not mean that I kind of feel like there is a pattern to some of this stuff. When people that research or have potential for like psychic sensitivity or mediumship, as long as they're following the propaganda line of it's all love and light, then they end up being kind of left alone. When they start to deviate off of that and start acknowledging, oh, there is evil, perhaps reincarnation here isn't really a good thing, perhaps there's some thing to the fact that the earth astral isn't really where you want to go and stay in the afterlife, that you want to go beyond that, then suddenly the aliens show up and they provide this whole new narrative. This happens quite often with different mediums or sensitives, and I have to wonder whether or not the Matrix customer service and sales department doesn't alter their tactics when somebody starts to wake up and feed them some information. But it does seem to me now that Cyrus is pretty serious about this stuff. Doesn't mean that the information he's getting from the other side is truthful, and you should check out these videos here and decide for yourself. Then there's this video about lucid dreaming, which is a gateway to OBEs. Definitely something that at least I've been able to accomplish some lucid dreaming, but I have not had these full-blown OBEs yet. I'm still working on it. Couple more videos from William Bielman, because again, Bielman is the only big figure. He's written a lot of good books. He comes very close to dancing around the issue of escaping the reincarnation soul trap. He doesn't really call it a soul trap, but you can kind of read between the lines with him and see that he's being kind of informative enough without using the terms like loosh farm or soul trap, and yet you can kind of get that message from him anyway, I think. So definitely check out these two videos. And then I found these old videos from 1990 from Robert Monroe. Again, you cannot find anything about loosh from the Monroe Institute on their official YouTube channel, but you can get as close to it as you can with these videos here, this series of videos. Monroe has a lot of great ways of simplifying and describing certain things, and in this video series, he talks about how after your life is over here and you're on your way out, you get distracted or you start to think of something you desired. And then he talks about how being human turns into like this junkie addiction. Oh, I forgot. I should try this, or maybe next time I'll be a woman, or whatever comes up into your head, and then you start to lose what he calls your escape velocity, and then you end up circling back down into the earth astrals and eventually back into another reincarnation. So definitely listen to these videos. They're very important. And finally, I ended the playlist with a kind of montage from Monroe, because after all, he did provide us. Him and Buellman and many other big OBE people have provided us with a lot of information about what to expect in the afterlife. Also, and I believe it was in this video here with Cyrus Kirkpatrick, he gets asked an interesting question about Tom Campbell, and I have to say his answer was very interesting, and I happen to agree with it to a great extent. So I hope that you take the time to listen to all this. In the meantime, if you wonder where I get all these interesting wallpapers that you see, and most of them come from wall.alphacoders.com. That's where a lot of them come from. They have a lot of great wallpapers, avatars on there. If you ever need a wallpaper for your computer, this is one of my favorite websites to get wallpapers from. And it's not a commercial or anything. They don't pay me. It just happens to be something I use. I thought I'd tell you about. And I have my Overwatch Project website. So if you haven't, I'm trying to get into the groove of saying this. If you haven't, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or if you happen to be on Odyssey, subscribe there, or BitChute, subscribe there. And please, give it a thumbs up if you find this information informative. I hope that you listen to that playlist. I put a lot of effort tracking some of these videos down, and I think if you listen to it all together, you will get a great understanding of not only the astral plane, the afterlife, but your abilities and powers to control your own destiny in the afterlife. I also signed up for Buy Me a Coffee because it is the easiest way if somebody wants to help me out with some of the bills for my website, all the stuff that I have to pay for. Keeping Overwatch Project up isn't free. Any help would be great. And it's a one-time thing. There's no subscription. There's no renewal fees. You can donate whenever you want with only a credit card or debit card or and your email. You don't have to sign up for anything. It's super simple. I thought it was the most fair and unintrusive way, and I do love coffee, so you can actually literally buy me a cup of coffee, because that is one of my favorite beverages to keep my mind going while I'm doing research. Don't forget about the Brave browser if you want to listen to it without paying for premium on YouTube, and you can listen to audio with the screen turned off, at least on Android, possibly on iOS. I don't know. If it works on iOS or iPhone, please let us know in the comments below. So I hope that, I can't wait. I mean, obviously it's going to take you guys a while to go through a lot of this material. I really hope that you take the time to do it, though. I think it's super important that we all get a kind of a mental map of the astral, the afterlife, but also the fact that you are not beholden to your human shape, that you can transform yourself and free yourself like lightning out of here. I don't think it's very complicated at all. I think it's actually a very simple, straightforward procedure to get out of the earth realm and escape reincarnation cycle if you're determined with the proper mindset and you ditch your baggage before your lifespan ends. So I hope this is a great start for that for everybody, and it has helped me listening to these videos and podcasts. So please let me know if this helped you out. I will link, of course, to the playlist, and I'll leave a link to the Brave browser website and some of these instructional videos here to help you turn on the right settings. And I'll even throw in the Wallpaper Abyss, and of course my website will be there, and Buy Me a Coffee link will be there also in the description below. So thanks for tuning in. I hope that you really found this helpful. This wallpaper happens to be from the video game Smite, which if you have never played it, it is a very interesting game where you get to play as one of the many deities from all these different pantheons and do like arena battles and stuff. Pretty interesting. It tells you about the lore of each one, and you know, something that can be fun to play if you ever want to. Again, they don't sponsor me. I don't get any money from them. It's just something that I happen to use, and maybe you like it too. So that's it for tonight, or today, whenever you're going to be watching this. I'll talk to you all later. See ya. Bye.